You're watching Channel 18, your community access channel.
The whole idea behind the Good Bears is we go to hospitals, nursing homes, homeless centers, any place that we can find people in need of a little comfort, love, and understanding.
Well, I think historically teddy bears have been a source of security or comfort to children, and because of that traditional effect, we thought teddy bears would be appropriate.
I find it's a great project, but like I said, it's sad to know that there are so many cases where the teddy bears do have to go out to children. You want to think that everything is fine. You know, I can see traffic accidents, as those happen, but the abuse and neglect cases, I hate to think of the children going through that. Even if just getting a teddy bear to hold on to is help lessen their anxiety or of what they're having to deal with, it's nice.
We are an organization of people of various ages, races, sex. Our main interest is we believe in sharing and aiding and giving comfort to people in a quiet, low-key way. The Good Bears of the World was founded by James Obey after reading the book by Peter Bowl named The Bears with Me. And this was regarding a man that was dedicated to giving bears, a symbol of love and affection, to children in hospitalized, traumatized. And it was chartered in Bern, Switzerland in 1973, and we became the Good Bears of the World. The membership of the Good Bears of the World, the headquarters is now in Toledo, Ohio, and being bears, a bear has a den, so each individual club assigns itself its own name and becomes a den. If an individual would like to become a lifetime member, then they become a bear row. The whole idea behind the Good Bears is we go to hospitals, nursing homes, homeless centers, any place that we can find people in need of a little comfort, love, and understanding. Here is the official Good Bear of the Good Bears of the World with their logo attached to it. The motto of the Good Bears is, "Have you received a hug lately?" We started our club back in the fall of 1992 after visiting the Franklin Park Mall in Toledo. And I'm a little handicapped, so it was hard for me to get around. My wife wanted to do some shopping, and there was a display there from the International of the Good Bears of the World, and how to make bears, what the club was about, and so forth. So I sat down and started talking to the ladies while my wife did her shopping. So that Christmas Eve, we bought all the bears we could. And on Christmas morning, we got up the first thing. We went to the local hospital here in Monroe, Mercy Memorial. From there, we went over to the state nursing home, which is called Greenwood Manor. My wife went in to check to make sure it was okay. They were told that, yes, bring in X amount of bears and we will distribute them. So my wife came back out to tell me this, and I realized that we didn't have enough bears, so we went to Perry Drugs and Arbor Drugs that were open and bought any and all bears they had, regardless of shape or colors or whatever, and took them back there. And I kept thinking, this isn't right to take and give them the bears for them to distribute. So I made a point in discussing it with my wife that we will make sure that we will distribute all the bears ourselves. In doing so, we had numerous bears left over. So from there, we went up to the University of Michigan Hospital. But let me backtrack 1 minute. There was a number of people there that were not allowed to have bears for one reason or another. Some of them would actually chew up anything you would give them. There was a lady that was in a wheelchair that was supposed to be deathly afraid of stuffed animals or any type of animal, but she kept bumping into me. So I made a point of catching her at a point where I could see her in a window. When she came up behind me again, I took the bear and put it right in her lap before she could do anything. This lady, after recovering from her initial shock, which was just silence, started yelling, "Look what Santa gave her for Christmas." So it just goes to show you that we don't always know what other people are thinking. I decided, let's go up to the University Hospital. We've got plenty of bears left, and visit the children at Mott's and wherever we can up there. So we did. And our first Christmas was spent from about 8 in the morning till about 10 at night, visiting different hospitals, Mott's, the regular U of M hospital there, the women's hospital, burn unit, and so forth, and nursing homes in the area. They allowed us into the burn center up at University of Michigan. Usually it's just the immediate family, no other relatives, and no strangers, and nobody can bring any flowers or gifts of any sort into the... And there was a couple of nice experiences in there. There was a gentleman that had set himself afire trying to commit suicide because his wife, who he still was in love with, had divorced him a year earlier. And the nurses didn't want him to have any contact with my wife or daughter, that suggested that I go in there. Well, my daughter already had the bear and was gone in the room before once she said it was okay for us to go in there. But the gentleman turned around and started talking to my wife and daughter. He became very happy. It was the first time he smiled since he was in there, and just changed his whole outlook around. Every time we go someplace, no matter where it is, we learn a new lesson. And we've had people, affluent people, that could afford to do things that made unrealistic demands of people. And after sitting down with them for a few minutes and giving them a bear and talking to them, the nursing home people commented to us and sent us letters afterwards on they couldn't believe the little time that we spent with somebody and talking to them, the effect it had on them, that they have finally joined in with their fellow patients or involved in the activities then at that nursing center or whatever. But it brought them out of their shell.
Now you can name your teddy bear. What's going to be his name?
It's going to be Pokey.
Pokey. Isn't that nice?
Oh, how about a Pokey?
That's
You like
Pokey.
Yes, sir, that's my baby now, sir, and only maybe, yes, sir, that's my baby now.
There you go. Gosh, she's happy. Isn't he cute, that Pokey? George. It's going to be George. Oh, how nice. That's my husband. His name is George. We thought he looked like a big teddy bear, too. See? We talked about why, people like teddy bears, why it's always teddy bears. So he had that idea, well, most teddy bears are big. So I said, yeah. Isn't he nice? His name is George, see?
I think historically, teddy bears have been a source of security or comfort to children, and because of that traditional effect, we thought teddy bears would be appropriate.
This program, I've heard from the officers, some of them did not get involved right away, and I think maybe they thought it was kind of funny or what have you, but the more bears that have been given out, the more officers are finding out when they see a child that has been crying and they hand them a bear. That child stops crying, grabs the bear. The police officer not only makes a friend of the child, but the child makes a friend with the police officer, which I think is it's a marvelous idea, and we are certainly doing quite well with the project.
Anytime one of our officers has contact with a child who's been involved in a situation that might be emotionally traumatic to the child, we would like the officer to give the child a bear to try to comfort them, to give them some security, to help them get through that trying situation. We've given bears away when children have been involved in automobile accidents, in domestic situations where we're called in to try to resolve a family conflict, in cases where children have been sexually abused, quite a variety of situations.
A case came in where a little boy was being sexually abused, and they just couldn't figure out how it was happening or what, if it was a family member. So Jim came in and he got one of our bears and went to see this little boy, and the little boy took one look at the bear, grabbed the bear and hugged him, and from that point on, Jim and this little fellow got along marvelously. So later on, the little boy took quite a liking to this police officer, and he got permission, the detective got permission, to take one of the scout cars over and to visit the little boy. He got the approval of his mother and dad, and the little boy was so excited. He comes out of the car, out of the house to see the police car, and what does he have in his hand but his teddy bear? So the officer drove the little boy to nursery school, and he buckled the little boy in, and who should be buckled in with the little boy but his teddy bear?
We've gotten the bears from a number of different sources, from the business community, private citizens, and we've gotten bears from the Salvation Army, and one of our middle schools set up a program in the school where children donated money toward purchase of teddy bears.
I would also like to mention with our teddy bear patrol that every patrol car has 2 bears in it. And when a bear is taken out, one is replaced immediately the following day. But we also have bears in our detective bureau. That way, any of the youth bureau officers or any other child that comes in for whatever happening, there are bears there. And we also have a group of bears that reside at the front desk. So if someone comes in and a child is upset, or even if it's just a happy child, we have a bear to give them.
To date, we've given away approximately 106 bears.
Another interesting story was last summer, 2 sisters were outside playing. One was an older sister. She ran home and told her mother that a neighbor had pushed her off the bike. And so the police were called. The mother was very upset. And the police got there and started questioning the older girl. And in the background, the younger sister was shaking her head, saying, no, that didn't happen. So the officer went up to the little girl and said, that lady didn't push my sister off the bike. So the officer went to his car, got a bear, handed her the bear and said, that's for telling the truth. This has been a wonderful program. It's not only satisfying for myself, but I know that the children are being made very happy.
I'm Mark Carmona. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I live in Delray. When I was a little kid, when I had teddy bears, when I was scared of the dark, they kept me from the boogeyman. So my teddy bear is like a guard, So teddy bears are my buddies. I still have a big one to this day.
So this one? Are you going first?
Yeah.
My name's Amy Benchich, and my bear's name is Stacy. And I got Her for Christmas by my Aunt Penny. Last Christmas when I was only 8, I think, and we were over her house to have a Christmas party. And I came here because I told my dad about the teddy bear thing. You can get in free, and my dad said maybe I should bring a friend, and Kaylee is my classmate, which I brought.
Hi, my name is Keller Stone Surfer. I brought my teddy bear Brownie to the zoo to see all the neat animals like the alligator and to see the dinosaur exhibit. My friend Amy invited me, so I decided to come.
Hello, my name is Beth Hunter, and I'm an information operator at Michigan Bell. As a telecommunications worker, I'm also a volunteer for the Telephone Pioneers of America. The Telephone Pioneers of America is the largest telecommunications industry group and has been around since the early 1900s. One of the many projects we're involved in nationwide is called Hug-A-Bear. The purpose of the Hug-A-Bear program is to give teddy bears to children involved in serious incidents related to child abuse, sexual abuse, or major traffic accidents. The primary intent of the gift is to help get the child through the investigative or police recording process. The bear may give the child the feeling of confidence and friendship and provide a vehicle for bonding between the officer and the child. The symbol of a teddy bear is to help the child get through the traumatic incident that happened to them. Teddy bears have been around for a long time and have always been something that parents buy for children for comfort, to help them sleep at night and things like that. With us giving teddy bears to the police departments to give to children, it's to help calm the child if the police has to ask them questions or if they're trying to do an investigative report. That way a child has something to hold on to and to feel comfort. I guess what I want to talk about too is like how it was hard to go to the police departments and talk to them about Operation Teddy Bear and to find out how much it was really needed, because you never realized how much was out there of children that are neglected or abused, and for them to be able to use it to give to a child to make the child feel better. The police have said it's even made it easier for them to break the ice with a child, because when they've gone in to take children away from their parents or whatever because of abuse, it helps to calm the child. Or they even let the child talk, let the bear pretend the bear is talking to the child so that the child will answer them back. Teddy bears have always given a feeling of warmth. Teddy bears are always huggable. Teddy bears come in all different sizes. I should probably mention, like, the Telephone Pioneers' ongoing supply of teddy bears, usually depending on the size of the department or anything, anywhere from 6 to 12 teddy bears, depending on how many squad cars they have that the bears are given out, which are usually put in a bag and put into the trunk so that they don't get ruined or soiled. Hug-A-Bear is a wonderful project. Hasn't been around very long, but we keep trying to cover all of the nation as far as getting people involved in the different police departments and paramedics and fire departments. The departments have been very receptive. The role that I have played is to contact the police departments and to tell them about the program, which no one has ever refused. I find it's a great project, but like I said, it's sad to know that there are so many cases where the teddy bears do have to go out to children. You want to think that everything is fine. I can see traffic accidents, those happen, but the abuse and neglect cases, you hate to think of the children going through that. Even if just getting a teddy bear to hold on to is help lessen their anxiety or of what they're having to deal with, it's nice.
Channel 18, your community access channel.